Hello, today we're going to take a look and see what tools I use in my tool bags. Hello, so today I'm going to clean out my tool bags finally. It's been about 6 months since I cleaned these things out, it feels like. But they're really dirty, full of sawdust, a bunch of garbage in them. And also I'll show you what brand of tool bags I use and my basic tools. Let's get started. So I use Occidental leather tool bags, and I grew up right down the road, basically 20 minutes from the town where these are actually made. So all the carpenters in my area use these, and I'm pretty sure they're used all around the United States now. I don't know. I would say these are probably one of the nicest bags on the market. I like the leather ones. They're really nice. I've had these for about 5 years, and they're holding up pretty good. I had a pair of the fabric ones, and they lasted forever. They went, I think, 10 years or something, a really long time. So these leathers are supposed to last at least 10 years. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, they're really nice tool bags. I got the double bags. I got all the things for all your stuff, and there's different variations of these tool bags. So yeah, nice bags. And this is the other side. Speed square holder, nails, chalk line holder, and so on, or whatever you want to put in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back together. That's it, there's my bags. All nice and clean. These bags retail for 300 bucks, at least when I bought them. Then probably around the same price. I don't know what they are now, but I bet you they're somewhere around that price. Okay, so this is all the stuff that came out of my tool bags. It's not really that much stuff, but this is pretty much all the garbage. I always throw all the... I try not to throw spent nails that are bad on the ground. I usually put in my tool bag. So these are all like nails I pulled and stuff like that. Instead of throwing them on the ground, I threw them in my bag. But so let's get the basics. So I got a tape measure. Got my Fat Max tape measure. I think, in my opinion, the best tape measure that a carpenter can use, the 25 footer. I got a speed square. Nice little speed square. Throw that in here. Got a chalk line. Go ahead and put the chalk line. This is where I like to put my chalk line. Sometimes I'll put it in here if I'm like framing or something. I don't know why. Sometimes I like to put it in there. It just depends. Or if I have to switch nails around, if I'm doing something where sometimes it's easier for me to grab nails out of here, but yeah. So I'll put that in there for now. We got a cat's paw. Nail puller, cat's paw. Throw that in the holder here. In there. And then I'll put this like this. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. And then this is all this stuff. So this is a really handy tool to have. So me as a carpenter, I always need a Phillips or some kind of screwdriver. I have like these brackets here that I screw onto the wall for my lasers and just other things, like I have to take the blade out of my razor knife and other things, and these screwdrivers are really handy. Specifically this one, the one that has the tip in it where you can flip it, and then the whole thing flips for the smaller Phillips and regular screw tip. But yeah, this is a really handy tool to have. I have them all around the house. I have like 10 of these, seriously. I have one in my junk drawer. I have like 3 in the garage. I think I have one in my car. One in my work truck. Yeah, this screwdriver, believe it or not, is really handy tool to have. I recommend getting one. So I throw this in here, in this pocket here. That's how I do it. I got my chisel. I don't really use this. This is kind of like a multi-tool. I use it not just for chiseling wood, but for other things. It comes in handy for a lot of things, but this is a very handy tool to have, the chisel. So I have a chisel. And one other thing about the chisel, when I really need a sharp chisel, I have a chisel set that I use that's separate. So I basically call this my multi-tool. This is my razor knife. I really like these razor knives. I know some people might say it's dangerous to have one that doesn't retract in, but I love these knives without the retractable lever on it. So this is what I use in my tool bags. I put that right here. I use that a lot, sharpen pencils and stuff. And then I have an awl. Awls are really handy for doing finish work, and I know you can set chalk lines when you're doing layout for framing, and you can poke a hole to start a screw when you're doing hinges or just stuff like that. These are very handy. So I put this right here. This goes right in here. And then got my pencil. And that goes, I put that right there. And then I always have electrical tape. This comes in handy. I use it a lot. Sometimes a cord goes bad. I can't think of exactly what I use it for, but I always have this in my bags. I use it pretty frequently for things. So I have that in there. I got a pencil sharpener. I don't really use this that much, but I have that in there. And then I got this. So this is pretty cool. This is what I put I use a lot of these tips, believe it or not. I have too many in here now because I haven't cleaned my bags out. But basically, this magnet holds all of these tips together like so. Pretty good enough to where they're not, if you drop your bags on the ground to go to lunch or something, or if you're looking for a specific tip and you have all these tips in your bag, you just pull this whole thing out basically, and it comes out like this instead of digging through your bag and pulling each one of these out. So that's a cool little tip. I keep this magnet with all the tips on here, and a lot of these tips I'm gonna put somewhere else because I don't need all these bits in here. So this guy, put this in here, and then most of all this other stuff is just access stuff that I'm going to clean out. This is important. This is my nail set, and this goes here. I put this on the outside, nice and handy. So it's got that. And then this is for my laser. I use this a lot. Just happen to be in my bags right now, but. Yeah, so this is not usually my bags, but I'm going to throw it back in here because I don't want to lose it, so that's in there. And then I got, one of the most important tools is your hammer. So I got this awesome stiletto hammer, titanium hammer. This is a 14 ounce, really nice hammer. So I want to give you a little story about the hammer. So I'm a contractor and I've had a lot of employees, and what happens is if I'm not wearing my tool bags, or there's been so many instances where someone said, hey, let me borrow your hammer, and I'm always the nice guy. I say, sure, yeah, go ahead and take my hammer. And then 2 minutes later, my hammer is given back to me and the handle's snapped off, and I just get a head and a broken handle, because usually the person that doesn't have a hammer is an apprentice or a new beginner carpenter, and so they don't know how to pull nails or whatever they're trying to do. So I probably had like 5 or 6 of my hammers broken, and so I broke down and I bought a hammer that has pretty much an unbreakable handle, which, I mean, this possibly could break, but and I know there's other hammers that have, metal handles and so on, but I chose this one because I do not want my handles broken anymore. I broke down, and I was always the old school guy that wanted to have a wood handle, because they are nice, but as long as no one else uses it. But I always tried to like where I came from when I was learning how to be a carpenter. The old school guys you were like you were a better carpenter the longer your wood handle lasted. So I would be around like older carpenters, and they'd be like carpenters, and they'd be like, I've had this handle for like 10 years, and I'd be like, wow. And so I tried to do that, but I got my license, and then it just, there was no way I was gonna, my handles would last like a month. So I was tired of, it's actually cheaper to buy a hammer, a wood handled hammer, and replace the handles all the time. But who wants to replace handles all the time? So that's why I got this. So I recommend getting a hammer that doesn't have a wood handle, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So I'm going to go ahead and put my hammer in here. It goes in here. You can also, there's a loop here. I don't know, I never use that because it just hits your leg when you're walking around. I don't know who ever would use that, but most people do. I don't use it. But yeah, so that's it. There's the tool bag. It's all the stuff I use. And I usually have an extra pencil. I put an extra pencil in there. I just throw it in there. It's usually in this big bag. So if I'm up on a ladder and I drop a pencil, I have a spare pencil to grab. But yeah, so that's it. That's what I use in my tool bags. Let me know in the comments below what you use. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe there's a tip that we all could learn. Yeah, please comment down below. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.